my father punched a donkey in the face one time. And sounds weird in America, but in Bulgaria it's not a big deal. You can pinch a donkey in Bulgaria. Tell somebody punched a donkey in America, people are like, woo! PETA, right? In Bulgaria, people are like, yeah, he must have had a reason. That donkey did something. I'll tell you about how it happened. And there's justice at the end of the story. There is justice. It happened maybe 18 years ago. It was the time when my father retired from playing rugby. My father was a national rugby player in Bulgaria, which is an odd choice for a sport, because rugby is as popular in Bulgaria as it is here in this room. Not a lot, not. But I think rugby is the Burger King of sports, because it exists everywhere, but very few people are into it, you know? It's an international sport. I quite like it, actually. So my father retired from playing rugby, and he decided he would spend more time with his parents. My grandparents, they lived in the countryside. Now, the countryside in Bulgaria is way different from the countryside in America. I couldn't quite explain what it looks like, but imagine Afghanistan. And but no one goes to church. It's just misery and no hope. That's what the Bulgarian. And my parents, yeah, there you go. There you go. I wish I was lying, actually. It's really what I remember. My grandparents, they're dead now, but back in the day they were alive and struggling. And my father would go and help them out. They lived in a little farm, a little village. They'll have a little farm, and they have a house and a little, a garden and all that stuff. So, and that particular day, my father had to go and offload a wagon load of dirt, because it's farming. It's hard to explain. You good people of Chicago, you have no idea how much dirt there is in a farm. So my father had to go and do it. I mean, you have to do it. So the means of transportation were a wagon, obviously, and a donkey, because my father was raised in the 1800s. Fucking donkey. 18 years ago, that's the year 2000, okay? The movie The Matrix was out, all right? That's true, 1999, a year before my dad lived in the past. That movie came, my father was still trapped in that weird spaghetti western where they didn't even have a horse. They had a sad little donkey named Milo. It's an international name, actually. To do the job of the horse. And my father took the donkey and the wagon and went to the place you dump the dirt. And I've been there. It's actually a beautiful place. It's a big meadow, and right next to it there's a river, and right next to it a lot of garbage. And you have to go, and my father went there, parked the wagon. I mean, for the lack of a better word, I don't know how you just stop and wait for the donkey to stay still. And that's how you, because there's no parking brake on the wagon. There's none of that stuff. You just gotta hope that the animal would stay still for a bit till you be able to do your thing. And my father did that. He went and he started offloading the dirt. And the way you do it, you have to step on the sideboards of the wagon and grab the shovel and kind of shovel it out in that very uncomfortable position. Because stepping on the sideboards, they're that big, right? And you're out of balance, your balls are exposed. This is an uncomfortable position to work. My dad did it because he had to, right? You had to do it. It's your duty. And you had to put your health and well-being in the hands of a donkey. You have to hope the donkey won't move, And donkeys are not to be trusted. These are weird animals. They have no facial expressions. Sometimes they refuse to cross bridges. They're weird animals, man. And of course the donkey moved. The donkey saw some other donkeys in the distance. Right? And they were free. They were free. Or it seemed that way. No, someone owned them. They were like inmates playing basketball in the yard. Yeah, no, they're going back in the end of the day. No. But for now, they're grazing in the meadow, but yeah. The donkey didn't know that. The donkey saw those donkeys and thought, I'm gonna fuck. Right? I'm speculating, all right? But I believe the donkeys, they don't have that many thoughts. Animals in general, they don't have that many thoughts in their heads. They have 3 thoughts possibly. Oh, I'm gonna eat this. This is gonna eat me, and I'm gonna fuck. Because these are the 3 main thoughts. So and the donkey sees that, and the donkey sees him and just takes off in the direction of the future victims of rape. I think it's the animal world. There's no Me Too movement in there. I'm not saying it shouldn't be. They haven't figured it out yet. It's a lot of rape in the animal kingdom. A lot of rape. I don't want to trigger anybody. You guys do good? You had some water, fan? What do you want from me? It's a donkey. I didn't make him rape. The donkey didn't rape. Didn't get that far. My father stepped in. But you remember my father was back in the fucking wagon. He was doing the thing. You know, like a Cirque du Soleil of not dying because the whole thing's moving now. So he jumped out of the wagon somehow. By his description, actually, he said he propped himself on the sideboard with one hand, did a double flip and landed on his feet. But there's no witnesses. No one saw that. So go with that. So he jumped out, obviously was angry and scared. He had the adrenaline pumping, so he just grabbed the donkey by its reins and just punched it in the face. And when he told me the story, he was like, do you remember the movie Conan, the Barbarian? Yeah. And I'm like, what happened? He goes, Conan knocked out a camel with a punch. I'm like, is that what you did? He goes, no. What I did was I felt a jolt of pain in my forearm. And I'm like, what is that? He goes, that was my bone snapping. That was, my father punched a donkey, broke his hand. And then he went back to shovel dirt because back in the day, being a man was an identity. You know what I mean? That's it.